All right, we are live for the morning edition of the Morning Check-In. As always, looking forward to connecting. Hope everyone is doing well this morning. And as I close out some windows here, I should be good to go. But welcome to the live stream, man. It's been a second, but nevertheless, we're here. And, more of the same, nothing new really. Just more easing, more stimulus talks, and more rate cuts, all in the hopes of trying to buy some time. So we're going to talk about what's happening in China just because I think it might work in the short term, but then again, it won't prevent the inevitable. So let's talk about that and a couple other things. And more importantly, what's on your radar? What are you guys keeping your eyes on? Let me know in the chat. I would definitely love to either bring it to the forefront or, share my 2 cents on it for those who care. But as always, welcome to the live stream. Hope everyone is doing well, man. Let me know if the audio is coming in good via the chat. Don't be afraid to let your voice be heard. If we have any new members to the community, let me know also where you're watching from. Let me know what's happening in your neck of the woods. Would love to, learn something new on my end. So other than that, should be a good morning. Won't be before you long. Just want to connect, share my 2 cents on some things, and keep the day moving. Lots of things to get to, I'm sure, for everybody. So welcome to the live stream. All right, so it's been a minute since I've done the format that I started earlier in the year where I start off with some good news, just because I don't want it to appear that every single thing I talk about is all doom and gloom. The world's coming to an end, that narrative, just because there's more to what we're experiencing beyond what our natural senses tell us. And that has everything to do with the spiritual aspect of things. And in particular for me, being a believer in Christ and really excited for what is taking place within my spirit, man. I want to definitely, share that with you guys. And so I'll start off with a little bit of a morning encouragement, with some scripture and a little devotional standpoint. And then we'll get into some market activity, then jump into the headlines. And then I have 4 or 5 other stories, all relative to what we're experiencing in the short term. And I just want to present it to you guys and get your take on matters. So for those who are paying attention, if you have not already, hit the thumbs up button, show some love for the channel. Hopefully that helps the algorithms and all that other stuff that these days you have to really press in to try to get a hold of. So hit that thumbs up button and hit that check mark if you're on Rumble checking in as well. And as always, if you guys want to be a blessing to the channel, man, I would encourage you join the socials. And so in this description here, I have all the opportunities for you guys to connect with the community throughout the day. And so once my mouse starts working, I can switch my screen up some so I can show you what I'm referring to here. Man, if it's not one thing, it's another. Now my mouse don't want to work. Maybe I got to check my batteries. But no, as you guys can see here, all the socials that, I'm on those socials more throughout the day than I am, of course, on YouTube. So good way to stay plugged in. And also, man, it's going to be a good day. Okay, so let's jump in. It's going to be a good morning. All right, so let's switch up screens here, and then I'm going to get into just some good news. Hopefully get your day started. And so I personally have to start it in the word. And so get a little something. I want to share it and pass it on. So let's do that. So as you can see on the screen here, just a little something from September 24th, which is a day, and it's entitled Rejoice. The Kingdom is Near. So I'm going to read through this real quick. It's short and simple, but yet carries a very powerful spiritual punch. And so it says here, when Jesus came, he didn't just bring good news. He was the good news. In Luke 10:20, he tells his disciples to rejoice that your names are written in heaven. That's powerful. It says the same God who spoke through the prophets, who told Isaiah, quote, the ransom of the Lord shall return and come to Zion with singing. Isaiah 35:10 is now fulfilling his promise through Jesus. It says the kingdom of God isn't just something far off. It's breaking into our reality, and he invites us to share in it. And so rejoice today. No matter the trials or challenges, you belong to a kingdom that cannot be shaken. Your citizenship is secure. Your place is written in heaven, and the kingdom is coming soon. Amen. All right. So hopefully that was something of encouragement to my people out there. I know it definitely was for me. And so, as always, just want to share something that can get people a little bit, encouraged in their spirit, man. So as always, just something right there to chew on. Okay, so let's dive right in. I want to go through some market activity. And of course, the premise of the whole rethinking the dollar concept is thinking beyond the illusion that's been placed in front of our eyes when it comes to what is fiat currency, what is money, our personal finances, which is what everything is wrapped around, and of course, understanding where things are heading in this reset that we're in. So, yeah, let's keep it moving. Okay, so let's get into just some market activity, man. I want to look at some price action for whatever that's worth, because at the end of the day, it's all about possession. But then again, whenever things get a little bit cheaper, that's when you definitely want to jump in. But before I do that, I forgot to big up my people. Give me 1 second here. Get myself situated here. All right, let's jump in. So, as always, for those who might be new, I never know who might be new, but I want to always remind people that colonialsmetalsgroup.com/RTD, my partners in the financial realm, to help people get questions answered, as well as protect and preserve everything they worked hard for. And so, had a chance to connect with Paul Stone yesterday, the founder, and just as always, great to just talk to someone who's behind the scenes and sees everything from a different perspective. So, but once again, I want to make sure that's available to all those who have interest. So this form above my head here is beneath this video here. You fill this out, they'll contact you, ask questions in reference to how this whole retirement situation work and what your alternatives are. Just because, in my personal opinion, your financial advisor and those who are responsible, or people that you place in position of responsibility for your financial future, they too also have to concern themselves with their livelihoods. So the advice and the information they give you might steer you in a direction that also benefits them primarily. And so you want to have all angles covered. So that's where a self-directed IRA could come into play for those who recognize the importance of physical possession of what is real, tangible, and something that you can feel. Of course, that's gold and silver. So if you're interested, fill out this form, contact them, ask questions, see if it's for you or not, and then keep moving forward. So just a little something out there for my people who want to diversify themselves. Okay, keep it moving. Keeping it moving. Also in the chat, let me know if everything is good. Let me know if y'all can hear me out there. God bless you. Keep on saving souls. Don't let them devil win. 100%. Appreciate you. The greatest. Just trying to play my part, man. Just trying to play my part. That's all. Okay, let's get into some price action real quick. And it's interesting how, as I'm looking at these figures on the screen here, that metals happen to be in good standing right now. Let me gotta move my pages a little bit. Give me 1 second. I gotta zoom in some things. Okay, things looking a little bit big on my end. Okay, so let me just zoom out a little something. Okay, so as you can see here, as of right now, this is as of 10:53. This is price activity. We have gold at $2,645.30. Silver is $31.26. So just these two numbers in and of itself, they are now becoming what would be considered the floor with unlimited upside. So once again, for those who care, platinum is $980. Palladium is $1,048. Oil is $71 a barrel. Copper is $435 a ton. Nickel $747. Aluminum, zinc, lead, all the base metals there. So once again, keeping your eye on the prize. Possession is more important than price any time of the week, so definitely take advantage of that. And also for those who might be new, don't know, but as always, trying to share with you information as to what's real, what's happening, and then also provide options. And so that's why last couple of days really just encouraging people to take advantage and look into the Goldbacks, aka what I call gold notes, just because they're a way to get into physical gold at a very affordable rate. And of course, the premium on those products are higher than normal. But then again, for the average person who don't really have much in the first place, to be able to acquire a single note that has intrinsic value is more important in this day and age than be stuck with, paper down the line that, won't really do you any good. I'd imagine, this is just a side note, because as I was thinking about this, reading some comments, and people commenting about the premiums. I'm like, okay, the premiums is real, but you got to realize it's a product. What I'm saying? As a company, they have to do whatever they got to do to make sure that they can stay operational and profitable. But then again, what they're supplying the people with in the form of real value, definitely down the line, if gold and when gold does the numbers that we've never imagined, a person who holds the smallest gold note will be very grateful that it's in a gold note rather than this. If this is the weakest link in our financial future, then having a gold note that you pay a little bit more for now will definitely make it up on the back end, in my opinion. But once again, that's just me. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's go. Okay, I gotta close some windows here. Got too many windows open. All right. And so, as always, from a speculation standpoint here, I always take a look at the crypto space just because that's where the powers that be are trying to steer everybody. And so, as you can see on the screen above my head here, just a little bit of what the top couple cryptos are doing. And so, Bitcoin is $63,000 for a share of the ledger, Ethereum 2,600. Solana 146, XRP, everybody's favorite, 58 cents. Dogecoin 10 cents, Cardano 37. So yeah, once again, these are the next generation of what would be considered Web3 companies. So Web 2 right now is transitioning to them. Web 2 happens to be the Amazon and Googles, all the current publicly traded companies on the S&P 500. They are shifting towards this blockchain based structure as well. So, you know, could be opportunity for those who recognize it. But then again, to each his own. Let's get into the legacy system right now. So this is the S&P 500. As of right now that I'm speaking, let me refresh this because I want to make sure this is up to date. As of right now, this is what the S&P is looking like. It says insurance is down, IT is down, financials is down, looks like almost close to a point. And then I scroll down some here. Banks are down a little bit. Insurance, healthcare is down a little bit. And we got a couple green up here, materials, industrials. So little mix scattered throughout here, but all this red here, never a good thing. But then again, for those who realize that the Federal Reserve and now China are going to be in the stock market game, once again, these prices definitely can go up a lot higher. Okay, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. So what I want to start off with is a tweet that has a lot to do with summarizing what's happening in China right now. So China literally has followed suit with everybody else because they are experiencing potentially systemic issues in a variety of sectors. No different than we are here, but then again, because we have the reserve currency, we can literally buy ourselves time, literally by cutting the spigot back on. So it looks like China's starting to do the same thing. And that's what I want to talk about today. And so I think the results of China's effort will end up buying them time, and it will work in the short term because they want to make sure the bubble economy that we're all a part of now continues to inflate and not contract or burst. So this short-term stimulus measures will definitely drive, asset price valuations up, and then it's going to increase and intensify the illusion that people are really prospering, but they're not considering the fact that those numbers are going up because this currency base is expanding. Therefore, the purchasing power, which is between these overpriced asset valuations and the valuation of these stocks, that difference is a loss of purchasing power that we have in our currencies. So real quick here, I'll thumb through this and then I'll get to some headlines. It says, wow, China just went all in on stimulus, sending Chinese stocks 4% higher. China's central bank won. They lowered policy interest rates and signaled more cuts are coming. So they're going to, in order to keep this illusion of an economy going, everybody has to go to ZERP, and eventually to prolong it, you have to go negative, like literally real world negative. But then again, that's beneficial for the consumer, not them. And so it says cut rates on over 5 trillion in mortgages. It says ease rules for second home purchase. So literally, they're trying to incentivize people to take their excess savings that they were already concerned with in the housing sector, because they save predominantly in housing, and go get a second house, making it favorable with lowering the rates for mortgages. It says lower the required reserve ratios for banks, freeing up fresh liquidity. So now that the banks are not required to keep as much of their savings on deposit, they can take that excess capital and lend it now. Therefore, the fractional reserve lending, that 1 to 10 model, can really be ramped up. It says here, pledge over $100 billion in equity market support. So literally, they are about to start buying Chinese stocks, probably even more than they already have. So literally, the central banks, the People's Bank of China, no different than the EU, World Federal Reserve Bank, they're getting in the stocks, which means that they're going to send stock prices higher. And so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that 100 billion supports the Chinese economy, but then also makes its way over here to support our markets as well. So just something there. And then we got here it says the set of measures is astonishing in itself, but the fact that China opted to announce them all at once is a significant deviation from previous years. So all this means that China is again unlikely to stay within its budget deficit target of 3% of GDP and unleashes a massive slew of liquidity that will be felt globally. So this is the time. They're trying to buy time. And so as I was thinking about this, I'm like, okay, so what is the sense of urgency? Why is it that all central banks globally now are trying to buy time? And in China's case, I imagine has a lot to do with this upcoming BRICS meeting in a couple of weeks, where it's suspected that they, meaning Russia and all their colleagues, will announce some alternatives. And so it'll suck on their part to have their house of cards come crashing down, i.e., their economy, which will send ripple effects throughout the entire world, and there not be any viable options for them to continue to have international trade with their partners. And so even if their domestic economy is struggling right now, the yuan that they're creating, they can probably inflate their monetary base to a substantial number, because they are also a part of this gold revaluation that we're witnessing, where because of their efforts, as well as with Russia, China, all the other nations that realize the safest place to be because of their own issues is gold. At some point in the future, there's going to come a new pricing mechanism when it comes to an ounce of gold. And so right now, as I just mentioned, gold is a $2,600+ an ounce in USD. When all this blows through, however they choose to price an ounce, it will not be the global standard by them within their, the BRICS entities, as well as in those countries that will probably join the BRICS. They won't refer to an ounce of gold in USD terms at some time in the future. And so I think a lot of this has to do with, trying to buy as much time as they can so that their economies don't collapse and their people revolt and they lose control. So they're going to inflate things, make everybody feel a little bit wealthier, while their reset under the table goes through or not. Gold is revalued and then repositioned as a medium for nations to deal with and respectfully deal with. And then, of course, on our end, being recipients of the Federal Reserve note, aka the dollar, we will be on the outside looking in, because once again, the dollar is not going anywhere. But if nations don't require it for international trade amongst themselves, or they're not forced to go support our government debt binge at our treasury market, then what? So these are some things I'm trying to all put together. Hopefully it makes sense a little bit. But lastly, a little bit here, then I'll move on to some other articles. But it says here, this outright bullish for all risky liquidity sensitive asset classes like quality stocks, gold, and Bitcoin. If effective, it will also provide upward pressure on inflation, which has hovered just around zero for months in China. And so this image here of their Shanghai Composite Index going up will go up further. And the smart money, people who know what's underway, know that we are in the midst of a recalibration of everything sound and true, will definitely take some of those gains from their equities portfolios and everything else that's rising. They're going to start selling off some things, and you better believe they're going to run for safety. Predominantly gold. Silver is what the Western bankers do not want to break out. And then the bankers here in Wall Street and in our hemisphere, they would love to have Bitcoin shoot off, because they don't want Americans in particular to realize our monetary history when it comes to gold and silver. So they will literally, I believe our monetary overseers here will literally juice up Bitcoin intentional so that it outshoots gold. So it's more appealing to go out and, set up an account to buy you some Bitcoin rather than race down to your coin store to get some gold, which is already out of hand for a lot of people. So the goal is to keep people's attention on where they want it to go, not on what's really happening at the end of the day. So just a little something out there for those who care. Okay. So that was a summary. And so just to give you more of what is really happening here is I won't read it because it's long, but that tweet there, for the most part, summarizes everything that it was mentioned. But it was this morning, they had their emergency style meeting where they announced any and everything that they plan on doing. And it was their way of saying that we're here to support our economy. And so, literally, if you're a speculator or a gambler and you have resources, you're excited because the government's about to send easy currency into the market, and then those who have access to it about to get richer. So it's just the people who don't have access or the knowledge to know how to take advantage of this. They're going to be on the ones on the outside looking in. But it says China molds stock stability, unlocks 113 billion in FOMC. And so here is just some graphs here. China's previous efforts to boost stocks fell flat. And so as we can see here, whenever there was some type of injection, it rallied things for a minute, but then eventually things cooled off. I wonder why that is. Why would you hold? I mean, okay, so here, just, rational thinking. Outside of pure gambling, why would I race into a market that I know is being artificially juiced up unless I plan on riding the wave up and then cashing out? Like, it's like going to a casino. You can only have a streak for so long before you know your luck going to run out. And you never know when that's going to happen. So if you're smart, if you have discipline and self-control, you can get ahead of the dealer. You can get ahead of the house. And whatever it is, as long as it's more than you came in with, if you can just take some chips off the table and get up out of there, you had a good day. And so that's why, in my personal opinion, I mentioned this years ago, we are no longer in the land of investing where you buy a stock, put it in your portfolio, hold it for 10, 15, 20 years. And then when you get older, during your latter years, as part of that 40, 60, retirement portfolio allocation, you can just sell off incrementally because the markets have done you well. But now, because everything is artificial, everything is juiced up, nothing is real. There's no true price of anything right now. Zero. And what we're seeing with gold and silver, that's just tremors. It's not even a reflection of their true value when you take in consideration all the currencies that have ever been created and all 130 different currencies that exist, or whatever it is, has to be accounted for with an ounce of gold. And so, man, it's just, to sum all that ran up, nothing has even started yet. We haven't seen nothing yet. And that's good news, because for those who are awake and aware and in tune, you still have time. So while they're trying to buy time to keep confidence with the people, we have time, because literally any energy effort, extra we get, we can allocate it to something that was more than likely going to be available for us in the future. And the value of it then will be way greater than it is now. Okay. Whew, that's a lot to get off my chest right there. Okay, let's keep it going. I'm going with some more stories. And okay, so over here we have, what do we got? We got all types of stories. And as I always mention, feel free to throw out some thoughts, ideas, suggestions in the chat here. But I want to share some things about this geopolitical situation, just because it looks like there's a hit out. There's a hit out on a 45's head, and people are sharing their thoughts on it. But here's an interesting from David Icke. And so when it comes to David Icke and Alex Jones, I've seen a decoupling of two gentlemen who, in their opinions, speak truth. One is more, and I'll let you guys guess for those who might watch or might not watch. One of these individuals, it's eye-opening, but then again, it's still gearing towards false hope. And I'll leave it at that. So in the chat, let me know what you guys think as far as who that individual might be, if anybody at all. But just because both gentlemen are opening eyes, I'm not in a position to really critique or criticize their work, because if they're speaking a smidgen of truth, that's better than 100% lie. So I'll rock with them. But David Icke made a great follow-up to Alex Jones' statement here. So Alex Jones says, massive assassination news breaking now. This was last night. It says there's a $150,000 death bounty on Trump's head, plus 45 has survived other assassination attempts that have been kept from the public. And let me just click on this real quick. It says this is a global exclusive, according to Alex Jones. And so David Icke says, if they wanted 45 deceased, at this point, he'd been dead already in the gun sights of a top-end assassin, and the bounty will be rather more than 150,000. 45 is, like Harris, a cult gopher puppet, and it may suit them to assassinate him and trigger civil war. But if that's the case, they won't miss when they choose the moment. So literally saying that if it was really meant to be departed, they would have got him. Because he goes on to say, if you think they would send some kid to do it, or some crazy dad that's land in the bushes, you know what I'm saying, on a golf course, somehow hit his ear to draw blood, but without any damage, then you must be a cult propaganda groupie. Cult propaganda groupie. And there's that one buzzword that really, I'm just propaganda. I've done a lot of additional studying on propaganda, and man, it's okay. I got a lot to say. So let me give you a little rant. Just a little rant, because this is something I want to talk about because it excites me. Literally, I've come to the conclusion that, and I've been knew this, but didn't know this, but maybe you don't know it. Okay. Propaganda is simply the dissemination of idea that is sent to sway the minds of the recipient. So the goal is to give an idea according to a variety of things. And I got it. There's steps to it. I don't have time for that. But the ultimate goal is every single thing that we receive from the exterior world is somebody else's idea, meaning nothing originates within our own minds. So it's all data that's received from outside of us. So therefore, every single person who shares information, if they put a slight spin on it, if you just take a word and you tweak it slightly, that's propaganda, because there's an agenda behind it designed to sway the recipient's viewpoints. So I'm thinking man, every single thing we receive is propaganda. Like me right now talking to you, I'm sharing this information from my viewpoint, which is already slanted, and tainted based upon my philosophy and my ideology. And so by me sharing it with you, that is propaganda. And so I'm thinking man, just this dissemination of information is dangerous, because they're words that can build up or tear down. So it really got me thinking about a lot of biblical principles and how the power of the tongue, really, really impacts people's lives. And so based upon what comes from the right and the left and the mainstream media, it's all designed to keep us in this bubble of illusion that our government is somehow one step more important than the masses in general. And I'm thinking wow, we have literally been dumbed down so much to where I can understand why our country and the world is the way that it is, because we have an enemy that loves to steal, kill, and destroy, and deception is the primary tool that fuels propaganda. And so it just, to me, I just find that to be baffling. And then, yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, I got more to say. I'm gonna leave it alone, but I'm gonna do some short videos on that one. So anyway, okay, so that's just David Icke. Okay, so here is another. And so this is from Glenn Beck, Blaze Media. It says suspected would-be assassin offered a bounty on Trump's head, prosecutors reveal. So Trump responded on social media by saying, why would they, Department of Justice, FBI, during their investigations, announce to the world that they are aware of a bounty being on my head? That only puts more pressure on Trump if all this is true, or this could be, this could be political theater, as I always mention, depending on how you look at it, but it's the reality that's being presented to us now. What we do with it is up to us. But it goes down some rabbit holes that I'm not going right now, but you can see how the propaganda can get thick. It can get real thick. And so we're being set up for something that will be life-changing. We're already, ever since 2020, March 20th, I think it was, the 15 days to slow the spread, our world has already been turned inside out. We've never recovered, neither will we be able to, because we're in a new normal. Now, this new normal is uncomfortable for a lot, and it's going to get even more uncomfortable because it's the principalities and powers at top that has captured both right and left paradigms, and they're trying to create a new norm for us where we eventually become appreciative of just having anything that we can get our hands on because that's what they think is best for us. So these are just some things that really got my blood boiling. But then again, as always, there's opportunity out there for those who recognize it and are wise enough and have the spirit of discernment to recognize truth from error, truth from a lie. That's what's needed right now. Spiritual revelation, folks. Okay, what else I got here? Anything else? I don't want to bore you guys. Let me see what else I got on deck here. Anything else? Oh, here's something that really shouldn't surprise anybody. We have Arizona Supreme Court rules nearly 100,000 can receive full ballots without citizenship proof. So this Maricopa County, no, is that it? Yeah, in Arizona, which was a key region during this 2020 election, it was they are either just have finished up or they're still working out some of the lawsuits that took place from all the ballots harvesting and all the people who literally just, the governor's corrupt, attorney general's corrupt. Man, corruption goes so thick. I'm just like, what blows my mind is I can't understand how a person born in this country from parents that worked hard to help build this nation, to provide a way of life for their child, who actually went into the political realm, became an elected official, whether it be whatever position you are as a representative of your state, your country, your region, your town, your city, whatever, how you can sell out your nation for money, fame, a seat at the table, or I'm thinking like, wow, like your kids' will be the recipients of the seeds that you sow right now. And I'm thinking like, wow, like, so with all this corruption, it just amazes me how the enemy, Satan, is able to capture people with the lure of things, possessions, and everything else that comes with that. But yeah, but then again, I can understand how it goes down, because who wouldn't want to live their best life now? And usually it comes with things and stuff like that and access to places. Just look at the whole Diddy distraction right now. Oh man, okay. But I can go on and on, but I'm not, man. This is just the things that caught my attention today. It's never a dull moment in the life of a believer. But I thank God that the victory's already been won. Can I get an amen? Okay, well, with that being the case, people, be blessed, be safe, enjoy the rest of your day. I have some more video stuff I got to work on. I'm trying to do more short form just because it's easier to do my research and not get sidetracked. Rather with these, so I can't stay focused because, my mind just doesn't allow me to. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you have, hit that thumbs up, share this, put it out there so more people can find out what's going on. Give people an alternative perspective to the propaganda that's being spewed from this channel here, which has more alignment with truth than it does the lie, because I try to shine light into darkness to expose things that the mainstream media wouldn't want you to know. That's my goal with this. But anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you. Be blessed, be safe. And if you are new to the channel, leave a comment, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and then check all the resources in the description. We have the silver team, which I'm still excited to work with. We got the gold notes now. We got, I'm trying to put stuff in your hands.